Well, how's it feel like to get the pads back on?
It feels great. First day of full pads today, felt really good to get out there and hit some pads up. Obviously, going against the defense, just getting back out and playing football feels great.
How do you feel like Vince is approaching this year with the tight ends right now?
I think it's a physical year. It should be a physical year. Coming off a season, we just got to be more physical. Got to be leaders of the team, and not just our groups, the team as well.
Is that playing physical, kind of like that? Has that been a big point of emphasis for you all?
Yes, sir, for sure. It's about finishing. It's every point in the game. We want to be physical in our routes, in the run game, and that goes around for the team as well. And that really sets the tone. That's really what we want to do for the practice and for the games. Set the tone.
For you, as a freshman, you got some extended playing time there. Late October, November. For you, maybe what's an area as a player you're trying to focus on to really kind of improve this spring and then heading into the summer?
Yeah, for me, I would say just finishing my blocks all the way, being nasty on the field, just finishing, being a leader for this team, and stepping up when the time comes, and being physical, and like I said, setting the tone for the whole team.
What have you thought of the blue-collar attitude that's been shown visually on your shirts you guys practiced it, and also in other ways? How have the coaching staff conveyed that that's a new wave, that's what you guys have to get back to in other ways than what you're wearing on the front of your chest?
Yeah, I think Coach Stoops has always talked about it, and I really love the saying. I really love the mentality, and I think we put it on our workout shirts, and I think it's been a big focus for us this offseason. I think it still will be throughout the season. I think that hard blue-collar mentality is what we should come into the season with and continue throughout the offseason with.
Who do you feel like is emerging as the team leaders, Willie?
I think, this is the type of year we need everybody on the offense step up. There's a lot of veteran guys, we have the quarterbacks. We got Jamori coming back. We have, new transfers coming in. Those guys will show out during practice, and really that's when leaders show out when everything gets hard and adversity hits. That's when the leaders come out, and that's when we need those to step in and pick up the younger guys who just got here and pick up everybody in the team and picking up the energy of practice, basically.
Well, is there like a period during today's practice, first day in pads, where you could sense that, hey, this is a little bit different, we're getting back to more of that physical culture?
Yes, sir. I think it's that first, it's the fourth period of practice, team run. You get out there and you're popping pads for the first time, full pads with defense going full go. And I think that's when you really feel that football's back and it feels really good. We got a bunch of new guys in that defense, a little bit of new defensive look for us. And I think it's, just getting back out there in that first period, that first team run period, and just popping pads with them and being physical, like I said.
That type of drill, session can be pretty spirited. Did things
For sure. I think it's all about energy. It goes both ways. Obviously, you have the defense going against the offense, so you're gonna have each side win a play, and then the energy on the sideline, everybody hop in. It's just how it goes. Offense versus defense every day.
Who have you enjoyed, going up against so far on the other side of the ball?
I've already gone up against Gerard Smith a lot. I think that I went against him last year a lot during fall camp, and I think also Cam as well. Just came in, and also Steven Souls as well, coming back. And I think, all those guys I've gone against so far, and I think I'll continue against going those guys, and those guys are going to make me better during practice, so I really enjoy going against them.
Do you notice difference in some of those guys, a second year? And
I think, some of those dudes are veterans coming in. They're a little older, maybe juniors, seniors, and I think they have a little bit more confidence to them and a little bit more, like the way they walk around and the way they play the game. And I think they're bigger dudes, so I think, they just, when they come in, those older dudes, you just gotta, it's good competition for me basically every practice and good competition for the whole offense.
Similar for you now? Do you feel like a veteran?
I think I do, for sure. I think I got my first year off, and I think I got a lot of good experience for that first year, and I think I'm going to carry that into my second year, everything I learned throughout those big games and those hard games. And I think I definitely carry a chip on my shoulder going into my second year, having that first season. And I think it changed my whole mentality coming in this year, trying to be a leader for this team.
Where have you seen the biggest gains in your game, Willie, so far?
I think it's in the interior, Obviously in the SEC, you're playing against big interior guys, really big physical dudes, and they got long arms. They're going to extend on you, and you really have to, keep tight, and you don't want to get, they're a lot bigger, so you know what I mean? In that interior, you got to stay true to your technique, and basically, I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Jamori, what reaffirmed your faith that this was the right place for you to spend another year?
I feel like the biggest thing with me was coming in and being the leader of the group. I wanted to take that step in and then do that, you know what I'm saying? And, not just football-wise, but just in life. So I feel like this is going to help me, be a good leader and just in every area of my life. So I just want to take that step of being able to come in and help the younger guys and guys that, been here last year. So I'm just thankful the opportunity.
We talked to you after the last game here, the loss to Louisville, and I believe, maybe we didn't, I was making it up, but I remember at some point you were pretty dejected about how things went.
Yeah.
How have you seen the turnaround that you said, you've kind of helped engineer?
I mean, man, it's a brand new team, so it's just building that with the guys and just, we even got a couple new coaches on staff too. So I think just right now, just building trust with those guys, man, and just setting a tone, like you said, with the blue collar mentality, all those things. So it's just a whole new atmosphere. I can feel the fire from the coaching staff of win now. So just like I said, just taking it day by day and just building a culture up with the new guys. And,
Anything specifically stand out, Jamari, first day in pads?
Everybody's physical, I tell you that. But that's the type of mentality you want to have, man. It's fun being in pads, in full pads. It feels good to be out there again and just, just competing, but also practicing like pros, keeping each other up, not trying to hurt each other, because at the end of the day, this is our team and we're going to need everybody in the long run. So, it was just good to get that feeling again.
So is there a noticeable difference in that physicality?
Yeah, it was. Last year we had a lot of physicality too, but I feel like first day of pads, everybody's always hyped up to get out there and run around and hit a little bit. So it was good for us.
Last year, I remember you talking about Hardley early on in the season, and you mentoring him.
Yeah.
What's caused you to be someone who looks after guys off the field?
Probably my faith in God. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what helps me lead others. You know what I'm saying? I'm being led by God, so I feel like I just have to serve other people. And that's just like my mentality when I come here, football, off the field, whatever it is, just trying to serve and love on people and just teach them the right things.
How are the quarterbacks spinning it right now?
No, they're spinning it pretty well. They all can throw the ball very well, man. The younger guys, Stone and Brennan, they can throw the ball very well. Cutter and Zach can throw the ball pretty well too. So.
Any surprises?
No, I just knew they all could throw the ball well. I knew it. Shoot, if they come to Kentucky and they are in the Division I, in the SEC, then I knew that they could throw the ball pretty well. So they're all doing a really good job, man. For definitely the younger guys, the older guys. So.
Anybody giving you good looks on the other side of the ball?
On the other side, I go against JQ a lot, JQ Hardaway. That's my guy. And this is my first year really going up against him because I was in the slot last year. I moved outside, so I go against him a lot. And, we give each other good work. So I love going against him every day.
What adjustments go into moving outside from the slot, Jamari?
It wasn't really as hard for me because I played outside in my previous school at North Texas. So the one thing about me, I'm versatile, so I can do whichever one. So it's not really that hard. I think it's just getting the feeling of doing that again after not doing it for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? And just it's all different from inside and outside. You know what I'm saying? So just getting my feet wet and doing that. So every day, just taking the right approach of the right mentality and going in and just working on things I need to work on.
What have you seen in JQ's game that has grown maybe since last season?
See, he's long, man. He's long, and he's taking the next step. He had a really good year last year, so I think his mentality is where it needs to be. He doesn't really talk much. He just goes out there and work, man. And I like going against him, and he gives props when props is due. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be really good for us this year, man. One of the best in the SEC.
Didn't see many guys like with his frame and length in the slot. Is that a different?
I mean, it is kind of different, but I'm pretty smart when it comes to being a receiver. I've studied a lot of guys, and once I go, against a certain DB a few times, I kind of can notice his weaknesses, and I just exploit that. So he is very long, so it's like I'm trying to stay away from him most of the time and not allow him to put his hands on me. But that's just me studying and just knowing the game.
What was the first day in pads like?
The first day, it was a solid test, I'll tell you that. A unique challenge. It was, I guess, testing grounds to see how I would compete against my fellow teammates, and it was fun, a lot of fun.
Well, the guys that came up and talked to us earlier said really physical day.
Yes, incredible.
Is the plan strictly to stick you at left tackle, or does Coach Wolford want to move you around some, or are you just working at left tackle right now?
Well, only God knows what Coach Wolf is scheming up. I'll tell you that. We don't got a first string, a second string. That changes daily. So I'm preparing for right side. I noticed that he shifts guys around and whatnot. So, but nothing is set in stone at the moment.
This is my first time talking to you, man. And in like 3 questions, you seem like you really go with the flow. Does that translate to your game?
Go with the flow.
Your attitude? Is that a proper assessment of your attitude? You go with the flow, kind of it's all in God's hands?
No, not necessarily. Going out there, being on the field, it takes a lot of preparation, a lot of concentration, a lot of mental toughness, and being trustworthy for your teammates. But I guess when it comes to talking, there's a lot of improvisation to it. So
What do you think of Coach Wolford so far? He's certainly a character in some ways.
yeah, he's an awesome man. I like playing for him. There's some savagery in those eyes, and I like playing for him. I like the technique he teaches, how he conducts his operation. He's very professional, so I like him.
Did you and the offensive line, did you all get to enjoy actually being able to go out and play full contact football today now you got the pads on?
Yeah. We if anything, it brings us together. Now knowing that we really truly got to rely on each other, and everything that we've walked through, drawn up, watched on film, it's feeling more organic. We're having to rely on each other, and it's camaraderie. So
You feel, y'all got a lot of new pieces. Some were here last year, a lot weren't here last year. Y'all feel like you're all gelling as a unit and as a position group?
as a unit, offensively, within my
The offensive line.
within my line,
Yes.
within the line. Of course, yeah. We eat together. We all shower together. We rehab together. We do everything together. I mean, it's almost eat, sleep, and grind with those guys. It's a brotherhood for sure. Band of brothers, almost.
I would say the word culture comes up a lot with this football team. Are you feeling like, just what are you getting from that, joining it now?
The culture.
Yeah, the culture, blue collar culture, that kind of thing. Are you feeling that? Is that
Of course,
connecting?
of course.
Okay.
Blue collar people in general, they're the heroes of our country. The first responders, the people who erect this building. We stand it. They're the true heroes, and they show up every day to work. They punch in their time card and they go for it. They go to work. That's the kind of culture we're trying to emulate each and every single day. Yeah. So I'm riding for it. I love it.
It's usually that first day in pads really physical and a lot of spirited competition between
course.
you guys and the defense. Did you have some good matchups today that you enjoyed?
Yes, some of the best in my career. I'll tell you that. This was my first time in the SEC, obviously, and these guys are SEC competition. I've played a handful in my career, but going against them back to back to back every single day, it's a delicious challenge, I gotta say. Of course, you're going to experience some defeat within your lineups and matchups. The important thing is to not remain defeated, to turn it into victory. If that makes sense.
Is there a guy that's really fun to go up against so far? Compete on the D-line?
Number 11, I like him. Number 35 bends the edge. If anything, those are some of the guys I like going against.
Yeah. All right.
Good? Right.
But let me get one more in there. Just in general, is there one thing that you're hoping to kind of add to your game and improve at this spring compared to the past?
I don't hope. I plan, every day. And if anything, I like to keep my plans to myself, if that's okay. I don't like to. Actions speak louder than words, so I don't like to, put them in the air.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Just 5 practices in, how do you feel like it's going? I know you've been around here where
Yeah.
some other guys haven't.
Yeah, I think it's going really well. I think, camaraderie has been a real vocal point this offseason, and just getting close as a team. How college football is, guys coming in and out. So that's been something that guys that have been here and new guys that the rest of the team view as leaders it's taken, an important role of us just getting together outside of here, So much of the time it's always practice, lift, and not like, let's go watch a movie, go to the bowling alley, or go to a baseball game, something like that. So I think it's been going good in that phase, and also obviously on the field. This time of year is so much about, it's like the rest of the year you're looking at an opponent or you're looking at someone. This is really like one of the only times a year you can really look at yourself and set out stuff for yourself. This is what I need to improve on. This is what our unit needs to improve on. This is what the offense, this is what the team needs to improve on. So
How are you adapting to stepping up into that leadership role? Obviously, you've been a leader in a sense, but now that, the more veteran guys like Eli Cox have moved on.
Yeah.
Just talk about that.
I think it's been something that I've honestly really been looking forward to. I think being a kid from here and growing up in, seeing those captains walk out is something that's really important and always something that a goal of mine that I wanted to do. So in order to do that, you gotta be able to lead your room. And I've had a lot of help from a lot of guys that I've also been around, and new guys like Josh Braun has been really helpful to me. He's an older guy, a year older than me. Him seeing 2 other universities and stuff that they do good and stuff they do bad has really been helpful, as long as Pete too, coming from a different situation also. So it's been nice to just rally together and lead this group to be a better group.
Jager, just kind of your last year eligibility, a lot of people leaving, staying, going. You had the option to leave. Why was it important to you to stay here?
I think kind of what I just talked about. I do truly feel like just as a team, and I don't think it would ever sit right with me if I left after I don't know, just I feel like there's so much potential for this team, and I know how much the coaches care and try, and how hard we've been working, and I couldn't watch. I want to be a part of it. I don't want to just watch it. So it's a dream. Like I said, that's the reason why I came out here out of high school, is ultimately win games, and that's all everyone cares about, is winning games, and doing that as a close-knit unit and having that brotherhood that lasts a lifetime. So I think that's the main reason.
How are you going to approach the clock counting down, Jager, last year of eligibility here?
Yeah, I think it's cliche, but I remember when I was a freshman with Fortner and those guys, they were always like, take a second, smell the roses, man. I traveled my freshman year, and everybody freshman year, you come in, you always think you're going to play, and then you're watching and you're kind of upset for a little bit, and then you're like, oh, this is still really cool. He's like, dude, just smell the roses. I think that's the biggest piece of advice that I've got from older guys that I've been around, is this goes by fast. I don't feel like I've been here this is my 5th season. I don't feel like I've been here that long. I feel like I've been here for 2 or 3. So I think just taking this year to, work on those things that I need to work on, help the group work on what we need to work on the team, and just try to be the best unit we can be, and stop and smell the roses a little bit. So,
Did you catch yourself telling some of the freshmen that?
Yeah, I think I forget who I was talking to someone about this, but I think it's weird. You feel an obligation when someone tells you something that helps you. You always, it's weird. That's how I always knew, when people tell you something and tell you that someone else told it, this might be a little confusing. But if someone's telling you something that they got advice on, it probably helped them. So that's always a good, tidbit of this is important information. So I do try to pass that down, and if they want to listen, then they can take it, and I think it'll help them. But yeah.
Is Pete the most interesting man you've ever met in your life?
He's up there. He's a great dude, though. He is someone you could truly sit in that lunchroom with for probably an hour, 2 hours every day, and I think it would still just be an interesting conversation every day. So he's a great dude. We got a lot of great guys that came in, a lot of great guys that stayed, and more importantly, a lot of great coaches, obviously. Just super excited about this year.
Pete's just a giant of a guy. What
Makes
was
me
it
look
like
tiny, yeah.
seeing him out there, in the full pads for the first time and doing his work?
Yeah, I think it's, he's obviously, nobody can argue he's a big dude, and I think his personality, a lot of people are big guys, but their personality doesn't necessarily fit. I think his personality fits exactly. He has a big personality, not in a typical way though. When you notice, from younger guys especially, just picking up on stuff when he talks, everybody thinks if he's saying something that's important, you know what I mean? So having him around has just been awesome, and he's a great addition to our team, and I'm super happy to call him a teammate.
Curious if you've had any discussions like this with him though, but I asked him when he was up here what he hoped to get better at this spring. He said, I don't hope, I plan. Is that kind of a good idea?
Philosophy coming out there, that's what I don't if he didn't want to I don't want to say anything, and I don't know, but the philosophy that what I'll take from that question is the philosophy that he talks with right there. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sitting at the table and he'll say something, I'm like, you answered my question, but now I'm thinking about something completely different. What is going on? He's really interesting. He's a great dude. I love talking to him though, but yeah.
Does it help to have someone like him on the team who seems like he kind of moves mountains with his silent influence, and it's different than someone who can really get up in front of the team and give the rah-rah, really animated speech? What about that?
I think you need both. I think you can't just have, you can't, that's why you want, kind of what I was talking about, leadership by committee is the thing we've talked about. It doesn't have to just be one guy. the way I lead and the way Pete leads and the way Braun leads, like we all lead differently, and different people listen to us probably more than the other ones. So I think it's important, you know, like certain styles of leadership, you have to know who you're talking to and be able to adapt and, you know, figure out if this guy doesn't like, you know, he's not used to getting yelled at, then don't yell at him. You know, pull him aside, talk to him. That's what he's going to respond to. Or if this guy likes, like, if he only responds to getting yelled at, then you're going to have to yell at him. Like, that's just how it goes. So I think it's been, again, awesome just being around those guys and, you know, picking up things from them taking things from me. I feel super blessed to just be around them every day for sure.
That first day in pads is always a lot of energy, especially with the O-line, D-line, when you guys finally get to do what you're asked to do. Any of those interior D linemen been really fun to compete with so far?
I know this is probably the answer y'all would not want, but honestly, all of them, like the guys we brought in, the guys who stayed, I mean, you know, they all, being around them, lifting groups, I mean, you see how hard these guys work, and it's showing up. I mean, Coach Ed and Coach Hill do a great job at doing their job and getting us prepared for days like today. I mean, you work a long time for the first day of pads, you work a long time for the first game. So just seeing those guys like Gusta, like some of the news guys, along with Khalil, who's been here for a long time, like Khalil is a lot better than he was last year, like because of how hard he's been working. Gusta, I'm sure, is a lot better than he was before he left because of how hard he's been working, along with all those other guys. I mean, I could go on and on about all of them, but yeah, I'm super excited for them. It definitely, you know, going against them every day makes us a better unit, and at the end of the day, we do the same for them. So that's really important for the trenches because that's what wins you games at the end of the day.
Is it weird to look over there and not see Zero anymore, the big man?
Yeah, sometimes it is a little weird. I think it's weird just in general. Like, I felt like the guys, like the last 3 years, the guys on the team were kind of the same for so long. You know, you miss a few guys every now and then, but then you get guys coming in and they kind of fill that void, and you know, you become friends with them, and it becomes like sort of the same thing. You know, in different ways, of course. Like, I'm always going to talk to Deion still. I'm always going to talk to Eli Fortner, but it is a new team, and I'm just super excited for the mindset this team's bringing to this season because it honestly, I mean, it feels really good to have a team all with the same mindset.
Good.